All right, guys, we are back. We are sorry for that little quick break we had to take there. But we are back. We were going to finish up on Pittsburgh versus Chicago. I was saying I'm going to go with Pittsburgh to take that win. It's 3-0 for them. I don't really see Chicago being much of a threat to them. I still think they're a young team. They're in the rebuilding stage post Jay Cutler. But I just think Pittsburgh has too much weapons offensively to be stopped by Chicago.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going with Pittsburgh. The Steelers are, like I said, are a complete team. I don't see anything out of the Bears so far, so it's pretty much hand down. It's going to be Steelers, so I'm agreeing with you on this one too. All
right, Tampa Bay versus Minnesota.
Tampa Bay versus Minnesota. Because Bradford is questionable, I'm giving it to the Bucs. I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Tampa on this too to get that win. I just think Winston and company is just going to be a little too much for Minnesota. Minnesota still does have a good defense, so that'll always kind of keep you in games. But depending on the Bradford situation, I still think even with that, there's not going to be enough to beat.
Yeah. Next, I'm gonna get into Saints versus Panthers. Now, it's at Carolina, but Cam Newton and Greg Olsen. Well, Cam Newton is questionable, and Greg Olsen is on injuries reserve. So, who do you have?
Yeah, so is his official Newton's out?
They just say he's questionable.
So that's what I hate about the NFL. It's just this question: is the dude going to play or is he not going to play? I mean, especially if you ever get deep into fantasy football, that's probably one of the things that drives people up a wall. I experienced that this week with Odell Beckham. Like, do I play him or do I not? Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? So I threw somebody else in there. Obviously, I'm glad I did. But it's just like, I guess they do that to try to throw the other team off, try to mess up their game plan. But regardless, if there's no Newton, I'm going to go New Orleans. There is Newton. Carolina can win, but I'm going to pick New Orleans just for the sake of saying that Cam won't play.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely just going ahead and going with New Orleans. Even though they may have Cam Newton, I feel like this might be the game that the Saints win. So I just feel
you would think eventually they get a win. At them going 0-3.
Yeah, I don't see it.
It's kind of hard to believe. Not saying it's not possible.
Definitely.
But that'll be a tough hole to climb out of.
Yeah, it really will. Next, I'm going to go to Kansas City Chiefs versus the LA Chargers. They are playing in LA. Who do you have?
Kansas City versus LA.
Yep.
And it's hard to see the Chargers going 3-0. So that's exactly why I'm going to pick them to win. I think an upset. The Chargers will beat the Chiefs. The Chiefs will fall to 2-1. It's a road game. I think the Chargers will slip up and pull the upset special this week.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs. I'm gonna stick with them. I believe that.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with the Chiefs.
I believe in Andy Reid's team, his company, Alex Smith, and the rookie. I think Kareem Hunt, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going with them. They're going 3-0. I'm sorry, Chargers. I like Phil Rivers, but you're going to be 0-3 this season, buddy.
Well, we'll wait on that. Seattle versus Tennessee.
Seattle versus Tennessee.
Tough one here.
Ooh. Tennessee also has two running backs that are questionable, Murray and Derrick Henry. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I want to give the edge out to... You know what? I'm going to go Tennessee.
Yeah, I was about to say, Seattle's been in some tough games the last couple weeks, and they're not scoring a lot of points either. And with Marcus Mariota and the things that they're doing, could potentially give them a win.
But still, you got Seattle's defense, though.
And that's why I picked them.
Seattle?
I was just building. I like Tennessee, what they're doing. I went with Seattle just for the sake of the defense.
Yeah, I don't blame
them. If they can cause a couple turnovers here and there, that'll give them the edge to win.
Yeah, this might be one of my biggest mess ups on this one, because I feel like worst case scenario, Seattle has a field day on Tennessee.
Okay,
it's just in my mind, but I'm still going to stick with Tennessee.
Okay.
Hopefully they prove me right by picking them. But next we're gonna hit up Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets.
I went Miami.
Okay.
I think they moved to 2-0, a very quiet little 2-0 start for them and Jay Cutler. I just don't really see the Jets really giving a lot of teams. The Jets could very well finish with the worst record in the league. That's just the way I look at it, and that's saying something because usually we get that award to Cleveland every year.
Right.
But I see Miami doing. I think with Kenny Stills and Devontae Parker and Jay Cutler and Jarvis Landry and the rest of the crew down there, I think Miami will get that win.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm definitely going Dolphins.
Okay. Atlanta versus Detroit. Do you still believe in Matthew?
This game right here is going to hurt me so bad. But because they're in Detroit.
Yeah, Matthew got to show he worth the big bucks. This is his first real challenge. A lot of people say, well, Eli's a top quarterback. But, I mean, we already know Eli's inconsistent, so.
I believe in Matthew. I believe in Matthew, man.
So you going Detroit?
I'm going Detroit. It's not. I can admit by my stammering that I'm not totally confident in this one, but I'm going with Detroit.
I'm going to go with Atlanta for obvious reasons. This team is a high octane type offense. They can beat you in a lot of different ways. They have a lot of depth. Their defense is pretty good as well.
Yeah, so it's going to be a real good test.
Yeah, it's really going to be a really good matchup between these two quarterbacks. But I still think Matt Ryan has the last laugh at the end of the day here. Gotcha. When it comes down to it, I think they'll win it.
Okay, Denver Broncos versus the Buffalo Bills.
Denver. Yeah. I'm gonna go Denver to win this game. Buffalo's tough. Tyrod Taylor can present some problems. They didn't look that well against Carolina this past week. But I'm just going to go with Denver with C.J. Anderson, that running attack. And then he can go vertical with Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. I like what Simeon's doing right now, so I think it continues.
Okay. Yeah, I'm also go with the Broncos. They really seem complete. Their defense is definitely not going to give Tyrod anything. So
I don't really see him having a good day.
No, not at all. All right.
We're getting down to it now. Cleveland versus Indianapolis.
Now, Indianapolis doesn't have Andrew Luck still. But, I mean, it's 2 0-2 teams, so somebody's got to win.
Who's going to be the best of the worst?
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to give it to Cleveland.
I gave it to Indy.
Okay.
I think Indy gets this win. Cleveland has gotten much better, but you look at how Indy played Arizona last week, though.
That is true.
So,
that is true.
I mean, they pushed him to the limit.
But, I mean, the Browns did kind of push the Steelers game one now.
So, I guess this will be one of those sleeper-type matchups here where we determine how, which one of these two teams can potentially be the best of the worst.
All right. So, now, I'm going to wait one more before I get into your team. I'm going to hit the Giants and the Eagles.
It's hard to fathom the Giants going 0-3.
Right.
And I want to pick them so bad. I really do. But Eli never ceases to shock me with anything that happens. Hopefully Odell can get back in the flow of things and stuff like that too.
Right.
But I picked Philly to win.
You picked Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you. I can't see the Giants going 0-3. And because of that, I'm going to go with the Giants. I think that even though whether or not they have Odell, even though the Eagles are playing really well despite being 1-1, this might be the game that the Giants take advantage of. So then Eli passing is still pretty good, even as inconsistent as it is. So I just feel like they're going to get over on the Eagles in this game.
Okay. Let's see who's going to win between Cincinnati and Green Bay. I picked Green Bay. I'm not fooling with Cincinnati no more. I'm through. Marvin Lewis needs to be fired. It's time for a change there. They're playing like trash right now. Andy Dalton looks like I just want to get into it. It's Green Bay going to win.
Yeah, I'm not betting against Aaron Rodgers anymore, so I'm definitely
and
going
definitely a
with
bounce
Aaron.
back win for him after the loss that they had. And know what better way than to play a team that's struggling already in
Right,
Cincinnati.
they're going to take advantage of them pretty bad. So next, we got 2 left for Sunday.
We got who you got here? Who else you got? Okay, Houston versus New England.
I already know who you're going with.
Yeah,
the Patriots.
Going with the Patriots here.
And even though they got Hogan, Dorsett, Danny Amendola, and Gronkowski all questionable,
They ain't playing. That questionable tactic is just something to make for the sake of making a report most of the time.
do I feel like the Texans can?
No, it ain't happening, bro.
Yeah, I don't. Just their surprise loss against the Jaguars is still stunning to me. So
Yeah.
I'm going with New England with you.
Yeah, I think New England wins this blowout fashion.
I'm tired
I
of
think
it.
Deshaun Watson's doing some good things, but Bill Belichick is gonna exploit some stuff about him
Oh,
in
yeah,
this matchup.
definitely.
I think
Definitely.
he's had a good show in the past 2 weeks, but I really think Belichick is gonna study this kid and get some stuff to kind of get him off track a little bit and
Right.
start to see him come down to earth as well.
Right. And then the last game for Sunday will be Oakland Raiders versus the Washington Redskins. And I'm going to just go ahead and just give it to Oakland.
I did. I gave it to Oakland too. I like what Derek Carr and what they're doing there. I like the culture they're building there in Oakland. They're doing some really good stuff. Washington's a tricky team. I think they can make it tough.
Yeah, I believe in Kirk Cousins.
I'm still waiting on him to emerge and have that breakout performance this year. This could be the game to do it on prime time,
No.
but I still think Oakland handles it. I like what Chris Thompson's doing. It was a good pickup in fantasy football, running back wise, for me this week. So, but I still think Oakland's going to handle it.
Definitely.
So you got Oakland too.
I got Oakland too.
And our final pick, Monday Night Football, Dallas versus Arizona. Both of these teams 1-1. Dallas coming off that rout up in Denver that they got blown out. I think they get back on track this week, though. I think they beat Arizona. It's a tough one.
Now, before you make that decision, I mean, even though you said that the questionable thing is just a decoy, Dak Prescott is questionable.
Somehow I still feel Dak will play because it's not really been mainstream.
Right.
Like all week, they haven't really been harping on it. Because I've learned this week from talking to some coworkers, they can't use probable anymore. So everything kind of falls under questionable. Because you used to have probable
Then
and
questionable.
questionable. So everything now is questionable. So you don't know if some of it's legit and some of it's not. He did get like a little scare in that game. I think he'll still play. How effective he'll be, I don't know. But I still give it to Dallas. I want to see Zeke bounce back after that subpar performance last week. Jason Witten's really been the only consistent person on the team all year.
Yep.
He's doing some good things too. But I think Dallas gets it.
For me, like you said, I feel like Ezekiel still might have a breakout game this game. But the Cardinals still has a pretty decent passing core. I mean, defensive, like as far as defending the pass core. So with Jason Witten being the only consistent receiver that Cowboys have right now, and I'm giving it to Arizona, man. I feel like Larry Fitzgerald is going to have a pretty good game. I don't see the Cowboys defense stopping much of the pass game.
And J.J. Nelson for the Cardinals is stepping up too for them. I just worry about that running back situation for them since David Johnson's out. Hopefully maybe Chris Johnson can step up and some of those other backs that they have there.
Yeah.
But I still think Dallas will get back on track and win it. So hopefully this week I can overtake you in the standings. I'm 17-14 right now. C Moody is, 23-8?
23-8.
Is it 23-8 or 20? You sure it's 23-8?
23-8.
23-8 already.
Check the paper.